We live. Let's see here now if I can share this to my people on Facebook. Get them over here right about now. Got to start bringing this conversation over to YouTube from Facebook. And now I know when I used to watch people's live streams why they would be, for the first few minutes, stuck doing this game right here, trying to tag people. So let me get to it. So how do you get this? Boom. All right. And we off. Y'all stick with me. Try and get some people in here. So today I wanted to talk about, this situation that was going on in the public schools where the teachers are teaching A Time to Kill. And I'm not too sure how I feel about that, just on the strength that I understand what the book is about. When I was in junior high, now middle school, 9th grade, I got out of drama club for that movie, for that script. Let's see, let's try this here. Just because it was so, so weird. So weird to have a story like that, you know what I mean, be kind of the central theme in this kind of this day and age. When you got a president like Donald Trump, somebody who's in there causing all kind of mass chaos and stuff, it's really sad. Let me see if maybe I might have to do this like this, because I need everybody to join me on YouTube. All right, let's see here. All right. So say something if you're in the chat with me. Talk to me. This is my first YouTube live video, and I'm really trying to work it all and finesse it all in here, man. We on YouTube live right now. Click that link. Click that link. Click the link. So I'm gonna have to edit this title because I somebody brought something to my attention today, and it was wild. Young lady was in school in Mustang, and she had an incident where the teacher was teaching A Time to Kill in the classroom, and it seemed like the student was already, she was already prepared for the teacher to say the N word and go there with it. So, the teacher eventually got to that part of the story. She says the N word. The student says that she feels uncomfortable by this. And essentially, the lady does nothing about it. You know, not only does she um, not do anything kind of to change how the student was feeling, she actually, because I had it in my playing on my Facebook page, I just want you guys to hear a little bit of this video here, if you haven't already had a chance to hear it, where the teacher's in class teaching the lesson, and the student is like, I'm cool. I don't need you to say the N word. And so the teacher insists on saying the N word and tells her why she's going to use the N word, etc., etc. And it was just really, it was, you know, I mean, you can call it what you want to, but it definitely was some white supremacist type stuff.
Relative, and Miss Rachel keeps them every summer. Francis, that's not so. You're mighty dumb sometimes, Jean Louise. Guess you don't know any better, though. What do you mean? If Uncle Atticus lets you run around with stray dogs, that's his own business, like Grandma says. So it ain't your fault. I guess it ain't your fault if Uncle Atticus is a nigger lover.
Can you please stop saying the N-word?
Because Atticus is a nigger lover.
Can you just say it?
It ain't your fault if Uncle Atticus is a nigger lover.
Can you please stop saying the N-word? Like I feel offended with you saying it. Can you just say it a different word or something, please? Because like I heard that you're the only teacher that's saying the N-word for this book. I heard you're the only teacher that's saying that's saying the N-word for this book.
I've always said it.
Okay, but
I've always said it.
To say it though.
Because it's how it's written, and if I say it any other way, it's lying.
Okay, but you can just, every time you say the N-word, everybody looking at me. How you think I feel about that?
Well, I hope that they would know better and feel wrong with that.
But can you just like say literally the N-word or something else? Like, can you just...
We got teachers out here hoping that young students know better than to use the N-word. How the hell they gonna know better when their parents don't know better? How they gonna know better when the Ku Klux Klan don't know better? Them grown-ups. Them ain't little kids in school. I could continue to go on. You can go to my Facebook page and actually catch the video. It's posted on my page an hour ago. But at the end of the day, you know, I was doing this live video. Yeah, that's why she said it. That's why she said it. Real talk. But, you know, like when I did the video about the dude with the gun, see, we got to understand what time we in. We are in a different time, folks. Obama is gone. You understand me? And while he was there, it was a lot of people who wasn't too happy to see a black man sitting in that seat. Now, everybody knows me, who does know me, knows that I'm not a big Obama fan. Matter of fact, I'm not even a little Obama fan. But I'm not one who's going to go out here bashing the brother, because at the end of the day, he set a precedent. It was a quote-unquote good look for people of color, whoever people of color is. I've never filled out nothing in business. What are you? I'm people of color. But at the end of the day, you know, the aesthetics of it was good, but the substance of it was nothing. You know, but we'll get into that. And so this whole war on poverty, it really, man, is the crux. I can't cut and paste the video. Please share it again. Amber Crawford. There is a link right here above you. Does everybody see this link right here that I posted? If you can see the link, guys, can I get a thumbs up or something, just so I know if you guys can see the link right there? No, yes. Can my Facebook peeps see the link? No? Okay. It was just a face. Yeah, it was just a face. That's what they do. But if you guys can look in the chat and see if you see the link to my YouTube page, let me know, please. Can I get a thumbs up or something for that? Let me know. Can you see the link? But anyway, the whole point of this was I was gonna give a little video about the war on poverty because I was getting into a couple conversations with some people who, they didn't really understand why this divide exists between black men and black women, and it's getting to be a little ridiculous now. When I look down my timeline, and it's like you have all these videos of people, or should I say, posts of people saying all these disrespectful things, really, and it's mostly just black women speaking on black men. And at the end of the day, when it's just black women speaking against black men, I mean, when black women are out here trashing black men, then the whole world can trash. They was already trashing us, right? They were already treating us a certain kind of way. Let's just be clear. And so now when the black woman becomes the loudest trumpeter of the black man ain't shit campaign, well, hell, the fight is over. Black man, pack up and go home. A lot of these brothers would be like, well, let me go get a white girl. She'll appreciate me. She'll appreciate the part of you that's not talking that black shit. That's what she'll appreciate. But at the end of the day, it's like this. So what people need to understand is when you look back at our history, there was a time when, black men were working, taking care of their homes, all in the early period after slavery was over. Look at Tulsa right there in Oklahoma, built a beautiful city, 1921, it's bombed, burnt to the ground, destroyed. The point is that in the 1920s, 30s, 40s, black men didn't have a problem working. My grandfather went to the U.S. Army at 17 years old in 1941, 42, and fought in World War II and a few more wars. So black men had jobs. You had GM and Ford in Detroit. Motown was booming in the 50s and 60s. Black folks had work. They had jobs. I look back at movies and stuff and depictions and things and documentaries of back in the day, and I'm surprised at wow, black people had nice little cars and little homes, and black people today don't even have homes as nice as some of those homes that our parents and grandparents had and lived and grew up in the 50s and 60s. So the point is that when I look at this current, black cultural trend where black women are over here and black men are over here, how did we get there? And it was the war on poverty, right? And so in the 50s and 60s, if you follow the story of the Italian mafia and the gangsterism behind the unions, you'll know that the unions became a really big thing. I got to grab this notebook right quick to show you guys. So I got this notebook here, actually from the Teamsters Union where I'm from. If you see this, you can tell this picture is pretty old picture from a certain time in America. Now the book is 1952. Can y'all see that right there? Put my finger on it. Oh, October 1952. Okay. So now, this is the America we are in. We got black men out here leading the charge and helping the unions. People need to understand one thing. And this is probably available at any Teamster Union, International Brotherhood of Teamsters, anywhere. Labor's Own Road, Teamsters, and National Politics. Now look at what that says. National politics, right? So here's the point. The war on poverty began when essentially black folks fell into the Democratic trap, I'll call it. And the Democratic trap was in 1960, more than 80% of black people voted Democrat for the first time when they voted for Kennedy. Seemed like a cool guy. He's different. Let's give him a try. Let's give him a shot. He was Catholic, the only Catholic president, which means he wasn't a Southern Baptist. He was from Boston. He was, more of a Yankee liberal sort of a guy. So black people voted for him. He gets elected. This is during the time Malcolm X is at his height, during 60 to 63, the presidency under which, the time that John F. Kennedy was in the presidency. From 60 to 63, he got killed November 21st, I believe, 21st, 22nd, around this time of the year, actually. So the point is that what happened is after Kennedy died and LBJ came in, and LBJ started this thing called the War on Poverty. Now, what the War on Poverty essentially ended up being was the housing projects, and the welfare program that black people know so well. But the one thing about the projects that they built for these people, and one thing about the programs that they had for them, is that this gentleman right here, who in the 50s had a job. Not only did he have a job, he had a career. And he had an opportunity to provide for his family. So once white supremacy snatched that stability from under the rug, and they actually, it's a whole nother story on how the unions used the images. This is 1952, and the unions were putting a blackface. This is a time when black people didn't have the right to vote summarily all across the country. Maybe here, maybe there you can vote. The point is that they used this image of this brother to promote the unions. Well, who do you think was doing all the manual labor in America for the past 300 and something years? Black people. So they co-opt his image, and so other black people who were working, and electricians and porters and whatnot, well, they voted too. And so what they did was they voted themselves out of power, because as just a loose group of laborers, black people constituted the majority of the labor in this country for some time in the early 20th century. And so when you get to that point to where the union comes in and tricks the black folks with the politics, we mix politics with labor. You see it right there at the bottom of the thing. Labor's on road, Teamsters, and national politics. National politics has never been kind to black people. So as soon as you take labor, the only thing that these young men had were the skills of labor, and then you take national politics and you put them together, and then the next trend you see for the next 10 years after this was written in 1952 is just mass joblessness for black men. How'd that happen? When the black men helped establish control for the Teamsters unions. So now when the Teamster unions were largely run by the Jimmy Hoffas and the Italian mafioso, so to speak, and we know the relationships with Italians and blacks, as much as black people want to name themselves Gotti and Gambino and all these names that belong to these Italian mobsters, they wasn't allowing you for membership. So it's just awful ironic that black people would name themselves after criminals who wouldn't have even allowed you in a criminal underworld. But that's neither here nor there. And so the point is, this war on poverty essentially is one where when you look at how they were able to summarily remove the let's see what this is. 1 second. Hello. I'm doing good. No, I'll take this call because it's very important. How are you doing today?